Hello and welcome everybody to the High Rollers for March 2022, the highest selling casino chips on eBay this month. Number 10, we have the Rare Sands Baccarat Las Vegas Casino $1,000 house mold chip. It's a common house mold Sands here. However, it's the $1,000 Baccarat chip. So pretty impressive here. I like the triple double edge spot, the double 1/4 inch edge spot. It's a really cool looking $1,000 chip. Sold for $414.99 on March 11th. Number 9 is very similar. Rare Sands Baccarat Las Vegas Casino $500 house mold chip. Sold for $417. So even more than the $1,000 chip, which I thought was pretty interesting. This ended on March 3rd, 2022. I mean, it's in orange. It looks, very autumnal with the orange and is that a dark brown or a black? I can't really tell, and a yellow. According to the description, it says, wow, stands on edge. So it must have some nice sharp corners on it. Number 8 is the Landmark Hotel $5 casino chip. Sold for $420 on March 2nd. I've seen these chips before. They're pretty impressive. It's hat and cane mold, not like the modern RHC molds, which are everywhere. Nice Landmark Hotel with the tower there, $5, Las Vegas, Nevada. The 3 looks like half-inch edge spots. Beautiful, simple $5 chip. And this is back when, colors weren't as standardized as they are today. Not that there is a necessarily standard, but it's good to see a yellow $5 chip. Number 7, we have the $25 casino chip Riviera Hotel, Las Vegas, Nevada. This sold for $425 on March 16th. I know the Riviera Las Vegas. I'm just not familiar with this chip. I'm trying to think if I've ever been in the building. Either way, it's absolutely lovely. Hat and cane mold. You can see the nice thick perimeter line around those hat and canes. The 3 1/4-inch edge spots. Just absolutely lovely. Very festive. I want to almost say holiday colors here. I really like this chip. $425. Number 6, we have the 1000 MGM Desert Inn chip. Sold for $436.99 on March 10th. Yes, that's right. We have another $1,000 chip. This one from the MGM Desert Inn. To me, it just seems like, this is not canceled. There's no holes drilled in this. It seems like a deal buying these for $436, $437, plus whatever for shipping. So absolutely amazing. Looks like Bud Jones coin inlay style chip right here with that lovely $1,000. It molded into the parent material of the chip. Beautiful, stunning chip at what seems like a really amazing price. Number 5, we have the Borgata Casino chip, $500 purple chip, Atlantic City, sold for $695 on March 22nd. Now, I like the Borgata chips. I own a few of the lesser denominations. This is a $500 chip. Bud Jones, very impressive, with that purple, sold for $695. And I'm not so sure what to make of this. Everybody let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm not sure I paid quite that much for it, but that's just my personal opinion. To somebody, it was obviously worth that much. So excited to read more about this one in the comments. And that brings us to number 4, the MGM Grand $100 casino chip, Las Vegas, Nevada, 1980s poker, very rare, $875, sold on March 16th. Now this to me just screams 80s. Look at the font that they use. That's like something you would see in a TV show or something with the lion, the MGM lion. It's just screaming 80s with the colorway, the blue and the pink and the black. And I love that shaped inlay. This is a really amazing chip. $875. Seems, pretty reasonable when you look at something this old, and a $100 chip from a name like MGM Grand. So I actually really like this chip. Kind of an introduction of this chip to me. I'm not that familiar with classic MGM chips, but I really like this one. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And that brings us into the top 3, where at number 3, we are going to talk about the Rare Sands Las Vegas Casino $500 house mold chip, pink with a pen mark on one side, $910, March 11th. Now, this is like the other, we already had 2 Sands Baccarat chips on this high rollers. And so this is the first non-Baccarat chip, and it's a $500 chip. And I love the colors on it. Look at this pink. I mean, when you think about Sands and you think about resorts, I mean, pink and blue and Sands, and it's just a lovely $500 chip. And, you know, $910, to me, this seems like a good value. The Sands was such an iconic Las Vegas brand. So really excited to see this sell, and I hope to see more of these, maybe even in this high rollers. And that leads us to number 2. $500 Chip Resorts International Casino, New Jersey exclusive, number 1 special selection for $1,000. Sometimes I get the impression, this sold on March 5th for $1,000. Sometimes I get the impression when I look at some of these chips, it's like somebody had agreed to sell something to somebody else and they wanted a secure platform to do it. And so they just put it on eBay to see if they could, you know, do that transaction securely, even paying the fees or something. Sometimes it looks like that. This was actually an auction and there was one bid for $1,000. It's interesting that, you know, it says number 1 special selection, which I think is pretty fun. But looking at the chip, Resorts International, Atlantic City, I mean, the triple edge spots are what first jump at. 3, triple edge spot, lovely, you know, hat cane mold, and the shaped inlay, beautiful chip, $500 chip. I mean, these are not easy to come by. So amazing to see and good to see on the high rollers. And finally, at number 1, we have Rare Sands Las Vegas Casino $1,000 house mold chip, $3,250, sold on March 11th. Now, $1,000 chips. I mean, this isn't a Baccarat chip. This is a chip. And I'm looking at this, and obviously I have some thoughts here. Number 1, that inlay looks a little iffy to me. You know what I mean? And it's $1,000 chip, pink triple edge spots, and I respect that it's a big brand and it's $1,000 chip. Like I said, very hard to come by. But that inlay always just, you know, it is off-centered, which is very common for Paulson. I've seen so many Paulsons, it's hard to find one that's perfect. And it's very common to find them slightly off-center like that. But just looking at the edges and the margins around that, it does look a little less than perfect. So I'm not sure if that decreases the value or anything, but just something I noticed. Not sure what to make of that. And we'll leave it at that. Looking for some, again, feedback and comments about that in the comments below. I actually, and that concludes our top 10, but I actually have an interesting one that I want to discuss here. It's not a casino chip per se, but it's sold on March 13th for $499.99. This extraordinary 1922 USPC casino poker chip, rare and beautiful gambling chip. And there's this, like, is that a Peacock or something on it? It's just an amazing chip. You know, not a casino chip, not something I'd put in my top 10 high rollers, but this really looks stunning. And according to the description, there's some more information that you can read about it. I'll let you guys, you know, if you guys want to research it, you guys can find this chip and research the Peacock little chip here and what it was used for. But I thought this was really interesting. And selling at that price, it better be pretty interesting. So thank you everybody for watching. As usual, shout out to my patrons. Thank you so much for your support. If you would like to support this channel in another way, you can visit my Amazon shop. I have a link in the description below. I am an Amazon associate. I make proceeds from qualifying purchases. Thank you everybody for watching. If you enjoy this content, please subscribe.